Okay, so now the table has been lightened with white and blended. So the next step is to begin to place on the side where your light source is coming from. You want to place your highlight so it comes in about 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch from the edge. Highlights are never right at the edge, and they're fairly small. So we're going to leave it like that. And then I'm going to blend out the lighter area. Again, I'm moving my stick in a circular motion, and I'll do the same with my blending stump. I used my pencil in really tight little areas that my stick would be too big for. Again, I'm moving pretty slowly around the edge. And the highlight you can hit again with your Conte stick, make it really bright. And I wouldn't blend it then, just leave the surface alone. So light's going to hit it along this edge. And then it begins to get darker, so I'm going to put less white. And I'll put a little bit of light where the reflected light would be. I'm going to go ahead and blend that in. As the sphere turns away from the light source, my light source is over here, things get darker, and then the reflected light is brighter along this edge. Not as bright as the light or the highlight, but it will be a lighter note. And you want to feather that out. Next, I'll begin with my sanguine, and I want to build up a medium value to a medium light. So I'll put just a little bit of sanguine here to mix in, but more towards the center. I will layer it a little bit more. And I don't press hard with my Conte pencil when I scribble. You want to go in all different directions across the surface of the sphere. You don't want what I call the striped pajama problem, which is it looks like stripes on a ball instead of a sphere that's three-dimensional. And to avoid that problem, you will make sure you're moving in a circular direction and feather out the edges so you don't have any hard edges. On a sphere, you have no hard edges. So it makes it so challenging because you have to get the gradations right in order for it to look three-dimensional. I'm going to put just a little bit of sanguine around here. Now I'm going to go into a little bit more layering of sanguine, make it a little bit richer, and I'll soon start developing my core shadow. Now you want your sphere to be as rich as your value scales. So be careful that you don't get too chalky of a look to your values in the value scale. You really want, or in the value sphere, you want to be sure that you're using rich color. So check back often with your value scales to see if you are achieving the same kind of gradations and values that you created for them. I want this dark line to disappear that is around the sphere. You want tone against tone. You don't want any lines in your work. That goes for your final drawing as well. Now I drew my sphere darker than what you needed to because I wanted you to be able to see it. But so I'm kind of battling these pencil lines a little bit, hopefully more than what you're doing. That's a little better. Okay, I'm going to put more sanguine in my core shadow. Again, I kind of feather it out so I don't get a stripe. Eventually I'll be adding black to it to make it even darker. Now, I could do any technique on top of this. I'm going to try to just stick with blended because that's what technique seems to be the most popular with students. So I'll continue working with blended. So again, I'm going to put my core shadow a little darker. I want it to be in this range here. So I got a ways to go. I'm going to put more sanguine in. Then I'm going to blend. Try really hard to keep your tortillons separated by color or value. So I have my darkest dark here, my lightest light, my medium tone, and then I have some that are other medium tones. But you want to try to keep them separate so you don't just get mush. Make sure you feather it out. So again, you don't have striped pajamas on your sphere. And I'm going to continue building this value up. Again, kind of feathering it out. Add a little more sanguine to this. I'm going to continue to work on this and show you the end result with just the sphere, and I'll be back.